Welcome to Let's Talk Health.
Well, here we are today with Dr. Ross Cotter. Dr. Ross is a unique character. He's not only trained as a physician, but he became an expert in stem cells. Show them your book.
Yeah.
He's so well known for this, they call him Dr. Stem Cell. Can you imagine that? How would you like to be? So when they call you up and say, hello, is this Dr. Stem?
Yeah, sometimes.
All right. What's your response to people at that point?
How can I help you? Is really because obviously they're looking for something that I'm trained in, and they have an issue that hopefully I can help them with.
So a lot of listeners out there today, they've heard the term stem cells, but they don't really know what that means.
Right.
So describe that to everyone.
Well, stem cells are really the master cells of the body. They create every cell in our body originally. But when we get older, our stem cells don't work as well. Our bodies age because we're starting to degenerate over time and just not repair. And our stem cells are really responsible for the initiation of the repair of our body. So when we cut ourselves, or we scrape our knee, or we break our ankle, or anything like that, our stem cells go into action, and they start the process of causing our cells to repair themselves.
Well, where do these stem cells come from?
Well, you have stem cells throughout your entire body. Most people, when they think about using stem cells as a therapy, you can get stem cells from your bone marrow, for example. You can get them out of your hip, which are typically called hematopoietic stem cells, or you can actually get like a hematopoietic,
yes,
basically blood producing,
yes,
or you can get them from a liposuction procedure where you do liposuction and you can take the stem cells from there. That's if you use your own. The problem that happens is we're all getting a little bit older every day, right?
Not me.
Not you, of course. we're trying to stay as young as possible. But in the reality is, once we start getting older, our stem cells, the amount that we have and the ability of those stem cells starts to decrease. And sometimes we need a little assistance from some reinforcements. Right. And we could use other people's stem cells. For example, you could use placental-based stem cells as well. Now, when I say placenta, some people think we're talking about killing embryos, yes, and things like that. And that's not the case. If anybody's had a baby, you know, after the baby comes out, there's a part of the placenta that comes out that's usually discarded, right? Right. Well, that is a cell factory of regeneration. There are a lot of cells in there that are there to repair and help the baby build and grow. And we can actually borrow some of that power and that energy to actually heal other people. So it doesn't even have to be our own cells.
But first we need to increase our stem cells ourselves too, for this even to work with our diet, our sleep, exercise.
Yeah, you know, you can give stem cells to a dead person and they're still dead, right? So if you don't take care of the base of your health, exactly, if you don't eat well, exercise, rest, right, do the proper foundation, yeah, it doesn't matter how many stem cells you add, you're exactly not going to heal. Right. And that's a problem that is very common in the industry. Is someone, say, is 300 pounds and they say, Doc, I want you to fix my knee. Right. And I'm like, well, we have another challenge. Mm-hmm. The challenge we have is you have so much excess of weight that regardless of how much stem cells that we use to try to stimulate some repair, you've got a challenge of the weight is going to continue to cause the degenerative process to occur. So if you don't take care of your health first, right, it's not really going to matter and you're going to waste your time and money, which is a very common issue I have to deal with.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes.
Lifestyle is always at the base of well-being and longevity, and nobody wants to take responsibility for that. And right, other than good doctors like Dr. Cotter, doctors don't speak about this because in their own life, they don't have their lifestyle together.
Correct. Yeah, it's very common that that we just go to a drug. You say, I have XYZ problem, and we just say, okay, so here's a medication that is supposed to help right, XYZ problem. But of course, we also have these complications because of that as well. So we have to look at what, the drugs we're putting in our body, because they always have side effects. And when we heal our body naturally, that's pretty much always the best way to go. We want to heal as natural as possible. Regenerative medicine, which is what this field is,
Yes.
uses these type of principles to try to heal your body naturally.
Well, you couldn't have said it any better
No,
than you did.
and it works.
And it works, absolutely.
It works. Yes.
So we're going to come back. We're going to talk about why Dr. Ross Cotter got interested in stem cells. Maybe it was a personal thing. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Let's Talk Health. Today we're talking to Dr. Ross, who is one of the leading stem cell advocates and experts on the planet Earth. He works with very important people. One of them we'll talk about a little bit later. But before we went to break, I wondered why he got into this himself. So tell us that story.
Okay, so when I was 41, I was single. I'm now married. And I wanted to meet new people. So I thought, what's the best way? Let's do recreational sports. You know, they have those leagues that you can join. And I was living in Atlanta at the time. So I decided, hey, let's go join these sporting things. So I joined something called dodgeball. I don't know if y'all remember dodgeball.
Yeah, I love dodgeball.
Okay, let me just tell you, dodgeball at 41, probably not a great idea.
No.
So we started playing, and we were the worst team. It's like a leagues,
You
right?
got hit more than
You
hit.
got hit.
I was pretty good. I mean, I was having a great time. The challenge happened is one game, I went up to throw the ball, I threw the ball, and then suddenly I was on my back. I thought I'd slipped, but there was no ball. My knee had given out. It was the first time that my body had failed me. Wow. Something had happened. And so
You were
I...
just 41.
41. Wow. So I hobbled off the court thinking I may have sprained my knee.
Right.
And so I had a rehab center at the time, and so we started doing some rehab. I x-rayed, and there was a minor little fracture. So we let that heal a little bit. Then I did some rehab, but it wasn't healing fully. My knee felt always weaker. Like I would get out of the bed, I'd always favor the other leg. I was walking a little weird. And nobody likes a doctor that says, hey, I'm going to help fix you, but while I'm walking funny, it doesn't work that. So there's an incongruency there. So I was like, so finally I went to one of my friends who's an orthopedist, and I said, look, here's what's going on. Let's take a look. They did an MRI, and they said, well, here's the problem. You have a torn ACL. And I'm like, oh, well, what do I need to do about that? And he said, there's surgery. That's it. You have two surgeries. We can take some hamstring muscle, or we could do cadaver tissue. And I'm like, wait a second. This is the option? Yeah. This is it. So they're going to cut my thing and put this other tissue in there. And I was like, there has to be something between a rehab and surgery.
Well, as a physician, you must have known that most likely scar tissue would have been the result.
Yes.
You underwent that surgery.
Yeah, absolutely. As well as, you know, I've dealt with so many patients that have had surgery. Once they have it, it's an ongoing thing. Yeah. You're going to have revisions or go back in again. And there's always something going on. So I was like, I don't want to have the surgery, but the rehab is not solving it. So I started, and this is back in 2011. So 2012. I'm doing all this research, and I hear about something called stem cell therapy. But it wasn't in the United States. This was out of Asia, out of Thailand. And I was like, I need to get this fixed. So I booked a 3-month trip to Asia. I went to Thailand, Bangkok, Thailand, and I literally went to the clinic because I was learning about how all these people would fly there, and they're getting all these different conditions treated, not just knee pain, but back problems and Alzheimer's and you name it. All these different kind of conditions were all being treated using these stem cells. I had never heard about stem cells or anything positive. The only thing I'd heard were negative. You remember when George Bush, then there was the cloning. I'd never heard of stem cells used as a treatment for a regular person, not as a science thing.
Exact science project.
Right, yeah. So I was like, so you're using this actually to heal people. And so eventually I did a procedure with my knee, and about a month later, I returned to what I would say normal. My knees felt the same again. I wasn't Superman. I just became the same person I was prior to the injury. And it was for me, it was like a miracle because there was nothing else had worked.
So you immediately didn't favor your leg. You didn't
No.
know the difference.
And I could do the things that I used to be able to do. I'm 50, almost 51 right now. And now I run, I can do all these athletic things I never could do before. That's one of the things.
Even before the injury.
Yeah, well, I wasn't that good at running anyway. But now I can run, I can do exercise. It doesn't bother me, it doesn't swell, it doesn't feel weaker, and I can do normal activities. So my quality of life just went right back to where it was and what I wanted it to. And that was from one single treatment, one treatment.
And those stem cells became exactly what you needed.
Exactly what it had, yeah.
And so everybody needs to realize now the estimate is by 2030, there will be a 675% increase in knee surgeries. In knee surgeries.
675%.
And 175 hip surgeries.
It's unbelievable.
There's going to be such a need for stem cells.
Absolutely.
And lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly, because we have to have a strong foundation.
Yes.
Because if I wasn't a healthy person, then the stem cells probably wouldn't have had the same effect.
They wouldn't have adhered.
Right.
Yeah, so once this happened, our rehab center became a stem cell clinic. I said, this is revolutionary, I want to be a part of this. And there was nobody in Atlanta at the time. This is 2013.
Well, one of the few in the country.
Right. I couldn't find anybody. I couldn't find anybody. So I started a place called Stem Cell of Atlanta, and we grew our we opened 2 locations, and we were one of the largest regenerative stem cell specialty clinics in the country.
How many physicians did you have working with you?
How many physicians? Oh, well, we did it for I don't know how many years. Like 8 years, so we had a lot of different physicians that worked with us, and nurse practitioners and everybody else.
They must have been exciting.
It was exciting. I loved it because we were specializing in something that I saw worked.
Yeah.
We weren't just giving a pill to someone and saying, here, take this, and you'll maybe feel better. And I got tired of seeing that kind of thing.
Well, I'm going to tell you, when we come back from commercial, we're going to talk about the future of medicine and what you can do listening out there for you, your loved ones, your family, how this stem cell treatment protocol that Dr. Ross Cotter is speaking about is going to be one of the pillars for your health. Be right back.
Do you want stronger immunity and powerful health? For 7 decades, Hippocrates Health Institute has been teaching people how to boost their immunity and take charge of their health as a pioneer of raw and living food, plant-based nutrition, and applied lifestyle medicine. Our clean and pristine 60-acre resort in West Palm Beach, Florida, is the backdrop for our team to foster people's transformation into an extraordinary existence. We are equipped with today's most relevant and powerful tools for boosting and recharging your immune system, including organic gourmet food, energy medicine, coaching and psychotherapy, elite fitness programs and fitness center, exceptional guidance, knowledge and education, organic salon therapy center, and recreational pools, spas, and saunas. Since mid-20th century, Hippocrates Health Institute has provided guests from people like you all the way to celebrities with the tools to embrace their ability to achieve outstanding health either by visiting the Institute or taking our online program. Come and join us at our renowned and historic tropical oasis. Unwind, de-stress, experience renewed energy, and take charge of your future with our scientifically validated lifestyle. At Hippocrates, you will have access to personalized consultations with our medical team, forging your own path. Indulge in daily lectures to ensure you are up to date with the latest knowledge, and also learn from us how to implement our unique enzyme-rich cuisine into your life. There are daily exercise classes afforded on our open-air campus and in our pools, or you can rest and enjoy the rays while watching the wildlife. Work out at our fitness center. Lounge in our numerous infrared saunas, steam room, mineral bath, cold plunge, organic garden, spa facility, and health store. Experience the power of our incredible living food plant-based diet and the impact this has on how you feel, think, and look, while observing shifts in the multiple body and mind evaluations. Meet other like-minded guests from around the world, rebuilding their lives and future alongside you, making new friendships that are often lifelong. Visit us now or learn from us online to take charge of your health. Contact Hippocrates Health Institute at www.hippocratesinst.org or call us at 561-471-8876.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Health. We're here with Dr. Ross Carter. And you know how much we're learning from him about stem cells and how it really works and his personal story. I think all of us have a personal story, and that's why we're so excited about what we do, and we love what we do, and we can see that.
Yes, it is. It's exciting. I love what I do. I do love what I do. I love to help people. Mm-hmm. You know, what's interesting is people have a misconception of how stem cells actually work. Would it be okay if I explain?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, when you take a stem cell, whether it be come from your body or from another a donor, when you put those stem cells into a joint, for example, those cells don't suddenly become new cartilage or new tissue. What they do is they stimulate the progenitor cells, which progenitor cells are basically cells that make other cells. And they stimulate the progenitor cells to do the repairs. So a stem cell is really the conductor of everything. Mm-hmm. What it can do is it goes into an environment that's been damaged, and it looks around and assesses what's going on, and it determines what needs to happen. So let's say I take a stem cell and put it in a damaged knee. Mm-hmm. It's going to assess, and then it's going to send out signals, chemical signals, to stimulate certain cells to do certain jobs.
It's a language, actually.
It is. It's a communication. Mm-hmm. If I took that same MSC and put it in a damaged lung, it's going to sense different things, and it's going to send different signals. So it's basically a injury-specific chemical factory. It's basically telling the body what to do and how to do it. So the stem cells themselves do not do the repair. It's not them turning into the new cells. It's the body is stimulated and told what to do, and the cells, the regular cells, will start to repair themselves. We have dormant cells all through our bodies that are not doing anything. Right. This stimulates them to wake up.
The older we are, the more dormant they are.
Absolutely. They're on siesta right now. They're like, hey, I don't want to repair right now. And so we have a problem of we have more injuries as we get older, and then we have less cells to repair, and eventually we have chronic problems.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dr. Ross and I have had conversations about how this is going to be one of the foundations of the future of medicine. And the reason being is that this is going to prolong life. This is going to raise the quality of life, take away the inflammation, the pain, and all of that. So in a very clear way, talk to everyone around the world and explain to them how this is going to work. And do you see this? Do you have a lot of hope for this happening rapidly?
Absolutely. Right now, before the situation happened with all the virus issues, there was thousands and thousands of studies that are using regenerative procedures, stem cells, natural killer cells, all these different stem cell type products to heal various things: autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis, problems with vision, Alzheimer's. I mean, you name it, it's a condition that they're looking to try to use these type of cells to actually start to stimulate regeneration. See, a stem cell basically has two primary functions. Number one, it helps with inflammation. So it modulates the immune system. It controls inflammation. The second thing that it does is it's rehabilitation or stimulate regeneration. It helps to stimulate the creation of blood vessels. It helps the bodies to stimulate tissue growth. It helps protect the cells from killing themselves. It's called apoptosis. Right. So that's what a stem cell really goes and does. It has the ability to do these things. And most conditions, most health problems are inflammatory. 80% of us after 40 die from an inflammatory condition. Yes. You name it: heart disease, cancer, autoimmune, neurodegenerative, you've got diabetes, obesity, all are inflammatory based. Yeah. So if we can take a natural cell and start to decrease and lower that inflammation, we might have a chance to actually reverse it to some degree.
Well, not only might, we will.
Yes.
The question is, can it rapidly move forward? And what I've seen with stem cells is no less than miraculous. And I can tell you that the body, when you're living a healthy, strong lifestyle, a plant-based lifestyle, one that you're exercising and moving, drinking enough fluids, and having happiness, as you do in your life, being passionate about what you do, in your marriage, in your life, in your work. I'm sure that very soon we're going to be commonly living well beyond 100 years. How old do you want to be when you leave?
You know, it's funny.
You don't want to leave.
The question, when I ask an audience, I say, how many of you want to live to be 100 years old? Very few hands go up. And you know why? Because when they think of a 100-year-old person, they think of somebody that's in a wheelchair, that can't move, and who wants to live in that type of lifestyle. It's how, if you could live to be 100 and feel the same way you do now, how many would like to live that? And everybody wants to live that way. Sure. That's the goal. It's not necessarily that we're going to live a whole lot longer. We're going to do that. But it's quality of life. If we can live and feel strong and play tennis and run and have sex and do all the fun things we love until we're 100, that's the lifestyle. I want to go out. I want to die on a tennis court or playing golf. I don't want to die in a wheelchair at home doing nothing. I mean, that's not the lifestyle I want. So it's really about quality of life.
Well, I want to die having sex at 140. Until next week, let's talk health. Bye-bye.